I want to bring awareness, and I want to empower and to give hope. You know how there are so many of us that are just walking around destroyed? Our self-esteem is down the tubes. We start living. We're just existing, just making it through the day. Well, I want to inspire and empower. Because at one time, that was me. I was that person that was just going from day to day, just making it. You know how sometimes you look good on the outside and nobody knows what's going on? You know, you put up a good front, you look well, you act well, but you have all this pain inside. That was me. One of my earliest memories, when I was a child, one of my earliest memories was waking up to hear my father beating my mother. That was one of the Sister Dolores, would you assist me in illustrating what I'm saying? Sister Dolores represents our parents. Forget how beautiful she looks. She represents our parents. She represents our enemies, our friends, our playmates, everyone that the clerk at the store, everybody that we contact or come in contact with in life. Sister Dolores represents this. Okay? This is how most of us come into this world. Just a blank slate. Just blank. And see, when I was born in the country, my story started with me being born during a snowstorm, and I was born in a little 2-room shack in the middle of a cotton field. No running water, no electricity, no inside plumbing, just a little 2-room shack. All of my family, we lived in the front room, slept in the front room, and there was a kitchen. And so right on me, poverty, deprived. This is how this is what life started writing on me. And as I said, one of my first memories was, oh, I forgot to tell you, they named me Irma Jean. Isn't that special? Irma Jean. So Irma Jean, one of her first memories is of her father beating her mother. That's trauma. So you can write on me, trauma. This is what life is doing to me. I'm being traumatized. Now, I don't want you to think that coming from the country and living in the country was all about, being deprived. This sister was telling me Saturday about how she has a daughter that participates in rodeos. And when I was a child growing up in the country, my sisters and I loved rodeos. But we could not, there were horses there on that plantation because it was a plantation. but we were not allowed to ride the horses. So my sisters and I, we would decide we're still gonna have a rodeo, but you know what we rode? Pigs. Imagine that in your mind. I know. Ooh, that old nasty pig. So I don't want you to think that it was all just, you know, sitting around, you know, being deprived, which I guess if you have to ride a pig, you're pretty deprived. So growing up, my father, I admired my father in so many ways because he was the type of person that would always say he could do anything. He never said I can't. I mean, he had a can-do attitude. Everything that came in front of him, and so I admired him. So we had a love-hate relationship. I hated him because of what he was doing to my mother, but I loved him at the same time. So there's a conflict. There's a conflict here. I'm conflicted. Now, my father, he was a Baptist minister. Beat my mother on Saturday night, get up in the pulpit and preach on Sunday morning. Such hypocrisy. Write that on me. Hypocrisy. Shame. I was so ashamed. I can remember going to church and sitting out watching him preach and not even able to look at him. I didn't even want to look at him. And I would wonder, why won't my mother leave? Why doesn't she leave and just get out of this? I want to read you, before I go, I want to go on. I want to read you these stats. Does someone have something they can keep time with? You have time?
You set it for a certain time?
Seconds. I want us to count off 9 seconds.
Okay. Let me get you there. Okay. All right.
Okay. Tell me when 9 seconds have passed.
Just one, almost there.
Okay, Brother Corey, now you're messing me up here.
All right, do that.
We got it? Okay, we got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me when 9 seconds
Okay.
are.
It's almost up now.
Okay. Every 9 seconds, there's a woman being abused.
It's up now.
Every 9 seconds, there's a woman being abused somewhere. 1 in 3 women will be are sexually assaulted or have domestic violence in their life. 1 in 3. 3 women are killed each day by a domestic partner or a close partner. Every 2 minutes, someone is sexually assaulted. Every 2 minutes. The CMPD responds to 38,000 domestic violence related calls every year. 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 6 boys will be sexually assaulted by the time before they reach the age of 18. Think about that. I got these statistics from Safe Alliance. And I have some literature from them when this is over that will be, you can take with you if you know someone that can use it. But let me continue with my story. Okay, here I am. this little skinny, big-eyed girl. Every day, trying to figure out how do I get out of here. Now mind you, we're in the country. It's not like I can just go to the nearest corner and there's a bus, or I don't have any money. You know, I don't know. How am I gonna get out of here? My mother would leave my father, but she would always keep going back. And now I understand why. At the time, I didn't understand why. When I reached the age of 16, well, see, let me just say this. See, I was the one that would, when my father, and when I got older, and my father would start, you know, getting rough, I was the one that would step in. You know, I had two other sisters, but they were sitting on the wayside. Me, I'm stepping in. No, I'm old enough now, you're not gonna do this to her. You're not gonna treat her this way. So eventually, when he started hitting me, I was like, oh, one of us are gonna have to go. I knew that if I stayed, I would hurt him, or he would hurt me. So I knew I had to get out of there. I had to figure out, how am I going to get out of here?